We've decided that we're going to normalize it. And the most troubling thing he did yesterday was the signing of the executive order to revoke birthright citizenship. I think that will obviously be challenged in the courts, but if he's successful in doing that, that will totally change the culture and totally change the direction of the United States, for the worse, not for the better.
So very consequential. You were sitting behind him at the first inauguration. You were in the White House team. Yeah. Give us an insight into what's going on right now inside that office.
Fighting. A lot of infighting, a lot of flexing. Everyone's trying to get his attention. He likes the drama. He likes the turmoil. He likes the billionaires being pit against other billionaires. He very tellingly, remember, he is a perfectionist with aesthetics, and so there was symbolism to the family in the front row, the billionaires in the second row, and the cabinet in the third row. Okay, so that's something that he would have thought himself to do, and so there's messages there to corporate America, and messages to people in our global society. Take a bended knee to me, and so listen, that's not classically an American approach, right?
And in terms of the infighting, the first weeks you were in there, is this an important time for the factions to try and gain traction and run this presidency?
Let me put it to you this way. It will be better, I think, this time, frankly, because he's got Susie Wiles, somebody that he's worked with for a couple of years. He's blown out all of the establishment Republicans. He decapitated the grand old party. The old school Republicans are gone, whether it's Mitt Romney, a Liz Cheney, a Paul Ryan, they're no longer part of the conversation. He won't, because he's not fearful of the presidency like he was in 2017. He won't put what I would call normal bureaucratic, normal process people into the government. As an example, Pete Hegseth, who I like, and I know Pete a long time, worked with him at Fox News. He's a very different person than a General Jim Mattis, who actually had career military experience and became a general officer in the American military. So to me, it'll be better from that perspective. Where I don't think there'll be much difference is that he'll get bored and start rotating people quickly, as he's always done. I mean, you're not going to change a 78-year-old. And of course, Vivek Ramaswamy is already gone. Yep. And so he's the first casualty of all of this, and there'll be more.
We're here in Davos. We're in Europe. It's international, but it's a very European event. Should I
stay in Davos, you think? Should I not?
Your judgment on whether you're safe to return home. You might be coming back quickly, I gather.
See what's going on.
How worried should the leaders and the business leaders here be? There were no day one tariffs for Europe, but how concerned should they be about this upending he's promising?
So listen, I mean, a lot of people voted for Donald Trump with the expectation that what he's saying he doesn't really mean. 100% tariffs on our China, 25% tariffs on our allies. And people in the banking community, people on Wall Street, where I've worked for 35 years, said, he doesn't really mean that. So let's see what he does. But I'll submit to you that if he means 10% of it, it's very dangerous. It'll be very bad for the global society. Listen, we need to get along as Western liberal democracies. We need to help each other. One thing he did say last night from the Oval Office that I did like was the commentary about Vladimir Putin, Russia, and the consequences of the Ukrainian war and the impact that it's had on the Russian people, a million casualties for Russia, devastation to their economy. And I hope he can figure out a way to negotiate and bring that war to an end. That would be a bright spot for Donald Trump. And he has that skill set. He has that capability.
Ask you a parochial question. How do you think it'll be for the UK? We sit outside the European Union as a trading bloc now. Yeah. Much talk about the special relationship. Does that count for much in Trump land?
So I think it does. I think he does like the monarchy. I think he does like the traditions in the British government, if you will. I know that Keir Starmer wasn't invited, but I don't think Keir Starmer is a big obstacle to this. I think people overthink these sorts of things. And I think long term, I think it will be okay. That's my prediction. And I think the U.S. needs the United Kingdom, and I think it's a harmonious, very successful, very special relationship.